All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Nick. Call sign is KN6DAL. Welcome to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. I'll be tonight's coordinator. We got Bert here in the chat with us, and we'll be taking check-ins and seeing how everybody's 4th of July was. First, before we get started, just want to take a second and say thank you to the owners and operators of the W6 VVR repeater and to the Vacaville Radio Club. Also to the Freestar Network for the use of their digital connections. A big shout out to the WX5 NAS repeater system. And also big thanks to Mike, WG5EEK, Greg, W5GSW, and Brian, KK6BXP, for all of the effort that they put into the network connections and keeping everything working. Before we get going, is there any priority traffic? If there is, you can always say break with your call sign. So we'll just check if there's any priority or emergency traffic. Come on in at this time. All right, nothing being heard. The 2 Meter Crew is not an actual club. We are just a group of hams that are learning and enjoying all things ham related. There's no fees or dues or anything to be a 2 Meter Crew member. If you're looking to find out more information, you can visit our website at 2metercrew.net. You can also check out our Discord. There is links in the YouTube description to join the Discord. There's a link for that. This is an open net. It's available for everybody, anyone that wants to check in. It's for new and existing hams. If you want to just chime in or you have anything to say, you don't necessarily have to wait your turn. Just feel comfortable coming in and saying hi. The 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net meets every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 a.m. UTC, and we are on the W6 VVR repeater. There's a ton of digital connections that you can reach us through. Echolink is at W6VVR-R. Allstar Node 51094 and 512342 are linked up. Through DMR Talk Group 3174-117. You can also reach us through the YSF Reflector 50462. And we are linked to Freestar, and their all-star links are 2195 and 2196. We're also hooked up to the Mad Scientist Amateur Radio Club in San Mateo, California, and onto their repeater. And then there's also a Zoom link that I posted in the YouTube chat. So anybody that wants to join in through Zoom, if you can't join one of our digital connections, you're welcome to do so at this time as well. And last but not least, in addition to all the digital connections and the Zoom chat, we're also linked up through YouTube. So this is streaming live at Northwest Ham Shack. If you want to like and subscribe to that, you'll get notifications as we go live, which is every Wednesday evening. And just take a second, see, is there any stations out there that are new to the hobby? Anybody who just got their license or has recently just upgraded your license? If that's you, come on in now and tell us about it.
This is KN6UNE. Checked in before. Let you guys know I received my license about a month ago. Yeah, going well.
All right, KN6UNE, congratulations on the ticket a month ago. How was your 4th of July? Did you do anything ham related?
The only thing I did was scan all of the repeaters I programmed into my radio, and I saw a lot of action on repeaters that I hadn't heard anything on before. So that was good to know that there's a lot more repeaters than I thought that are in use out there.
Well, cool. At least you got out there and got on the air. I was thinking about playing a little bit of radio, and I ended up just hanging out. We had a block party, and there was a ton of people out on our block, and just had a good time lighting off fireworks. And we're allowed to do that up here. I was just talking to Bert before. most places in California, you can't even have any fireworks at all. But that's awesome. Good that you got your radio programmed, and hopefully we'll see you on the Zoom chat here in a little bit. I appreciate you checking in. I have one more question I'm going to throw out there. If you could, without any money, no money doesn't matter, money's no object, if you could add anything to your shack right now, what would it be? Edwin, that was for you. KN6 UNE. If you could add anything to your shack, what would it be?
Thanks for clarifying that. And yeah, regarding the fireworks show, I know they're not allowed down here, civilian fireworks show, but it certainly didn't stop the neighborhood from celebrating the 4th of July. If I could add anything to my shack, money not being an issue, well, right now, being a tech, I'm looking into buying a new mobile radio. What I'm looking into getting is probably one that does digital. So I'm looking at the Anytone, I believe it's the 878. And if money wasn't an issue, I would put a killer antenna on my roof with the best coax and pay someone to set it all up and put holes in my wall and get me set up and properly grounded.
I like it. That's an awesome aspiration. Some of that stuff, to be honest, you could do for little to no money. So money doesn't have to be an object. You can make an antenna that would work really effectively on your roof, pretty much with scrap that you probably have at your house right now. The coax is another deal, but I'd be willing to bet you could link up with somebody in a club and find someone that's got some scraps of coax to get you rolling. So there's ways to do it cheap, but no, I totally understand. If I had to answer that question, it would probably be a solid state linear amplifier. If I could, if money was no object, it would be a big bad boy. And it would be something that was more convenient to kind of put on the shelf and use, and just a little bit easier than tuning every time I wanted to talk. But awesome, man. I appreciate you checking in with us. Is there anybody else out there that just recently got their call sign? All right, awesome. Anybody that wants to check into the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Again, my name's Nick. Call signs KN6DAL. We're looking for any check-ins. Come on in now.
PCI on a mobile over here in Fairfield. How's it going, guys?
It's going really good. You sound awesome. I think I caught just the last 2 letters of your suffix. Can you come one more time with your call? Did I not make it out?
I heard you. Was it KM6 TVI?
TVI. Okay, I think it was KM6 TVI. I don't know if I got the call right. If you want to correct me on that on your comeback. All right, moving on. Again, this is Nick, KN6DAL, looking for any check-ins, any stations, anywhere. Come on in now.
November 6th, Golf Lima Golf, Troy and Folsom.
Hey, how's it going tonight, Troy? You sound great. How was your 4th of July?
It was going great till the electrofire started, and then had some family up there that was worried about for a couple of days. But everything has worked out fine.
Well, it's good to hear that everybody's safe. I didn't hear anything about that fire. Was it large? Is it still going, or do they have it pretty much put out?
Still going. It's in a canyon between Jackson and San Andres, and it luckily ran east rather than running up over the rim of the canyons into the communities up there. So no news is good news, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Troy. I lived down there for a little over 3 years, and I totally understand the fires are absolutely no joke. I'm currently in Western Washington, so we don't really have that issue here. But just on the other side of the mountains, every year it's almost as bad as California in terms of wildfires. They get going, and nothing can stop them. So I'm glad that your family and your friends are safe. And that your 4th of July was good. We got a question tonight, and that is, if money was no object and you could pick one thing to buy for your shack, what would it be?
If money was no object, there wouldn't be just one thing that I would want in my shack.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, but I figured I had to limit the question in some way, right? But if you could just pick one thing, it could be, one thing that's on the shelf at HRO, or it could be something that you've seen that was super unique. Just throw something out there.
Well, I've been meaning to get more into HF, so I'd probably have to go with like a 7300. I think it is the Icon. It seems to be so popular. And of course, the matching antenna. We're going to call that one thing because you can't have one without the other.
True.
By ham radio rules, I think you're right. I think that works. You got to have an antenna with a radio, so it only makes sense that that's one item. Thanks, Troy. Thanks for checking in with us tonight, and hopefully one day we'll catch you on Zoom. We're streaming this live on YouTube, and we've got a Zoom chat that's going on. We have people kind of hanging out in the background, and we can all talk, and we usually hang out a little bit afterwards. So you're always welcome to join that, and I definitely appreciate you checking in again with us. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're looking for any and all check-ins. Come on in now.
Just one antenna, AK6Y.
It's KI5, Victor Juliet Lima on a mobile, checking in.
KI5 VJL, you sound good on the mobile. What mode are you using to come in? Are you coming in through a repeater or a digital connection?
I'm coming in off a repeater, just on a little 5-watt HT. We're from Houston, Texas, up in Central California, visiting some relatives, and just running off one of the Vacaville repeaters up here. Come back.
Come back.
Awesome. Yeah, you sound good. How was your 4th of July, and how was hanging out in California with the family?
It was good. We had a good time. We're originally from this part of the world, so it's always nice to come back to your roots and visit friends and family for a few days. We got some family business to take care of, and we're headed back to Houston tomorrow.
Well, that's awesome. I wish you a safe drive back to Texas. We have a question tonight, and the question is, if money was no object and you could purchase one new thing for your shack, what would it be?
Probably a real radio. I've been licensed on the ham frequencies for a couple of 3 months. I've been playing with GRMS for about a year, and I'm making do with pretty much some better Chinese radios. So if I could buy anything I wanted, it'd probably be some high quality Japanese stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. Save your pennies. There's some good radios out there. Even HTs, there's some that can be had, and they're not super expensive, but they're really good performers. And I'll be honest, some of the Chinese stuff is pretty good performing equipment too. So don't always discount it. Whatever gets you on the air, and whatever gets you on the air is good in my opinion. So hopefully, when you get back to Texas, you can find a way to get hooked up with us digitally. We have this. Anti-Net is every Wednesday night, and it's at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you're always welcome to join in. I appreciate you checking in with us tonight, and again, I wish you a safe drive back to Texas. My name is Nick, call signs KN6DAL. Let's see who we got here in the Zoom chat. We better catch Eric before he flees, because we haven't seen him in a while or heard from him. AK6Y, Eric, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing much better than I was about a week ago. AK6Y. It's been a interesting couple of weeks. It's been actually an interesting last 2 months. Work has changed significantly, gotten for the better. Unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, I was working at our local county fair, and I think I contracted it there. I got the vid, and I've been out for about a week and a half. It wasn't too bad. It was just a cough and temperature and pretty bad headache. But I'm all clear now. And overall, things are pretty good. To answer the question of tonight, I was in lockup. So I didn't get to do any ham radio stuff. And if money was no object, I'd want a new car to put all my ham gear in. Because I've been, as you guys know, I've been a ham for a long time. I don't need any new gear. I just need a new car. So that's it. Back to net, AK6Y.
All right, thanks, Eric. Yeah, that's fair. I suppose the hobby is broad enough that it can be loosely related to anything that we want, right? So I would like a cruise ship to put my my mobile ham radio on so that I can just cruise the ocean and never work again. But we'll see if that ever happens. This is Nick, KN6DAL, looking for check-ins for the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Any and all stations are welcome to come in. Come on in now.
Well, make sure you come down that coast and pick me up, because I'll go with you.
Hey, what's going on, Nick and everybody in the net? This is K89MHB, Kilo 1 Delta 9, Michael Salvabo, Corey, and Kyle.
Corey, how's it going tonight? How was your 4th of July?
Fourth was a success, man. I walked away with all my fingers, so I'm pretty good. Checking in tonight via Freestar on the P25 side. Tried using the Mountain West link via P25, but had no luck. But yeah, I guess to answer the question of the night, if I could have anything, bro, I'd get a Motorola Apex 8500.
All right. Well, I think you, aside from the car and the cruise ship, I think you might have taken the most expensive item so far. So that's fair. I'll give you that. That's awesome. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. Glad you had a good 4th. And yeah, that radio, for those of you that don't know, I mean, we're talking several thousands of dollars to have that radio in your hand. So it's definitely out of my league. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're looking for check-ins for the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Anybody that wants to say hi, come on in now.
I carry one at work.
How much is it?
All right, let's pick on our next victim. How about Bert, N6EFR? How's things going, man? How was your 4th? And tell us a little bit about what you would buy if you had an unlimited bank account to buy one item for your shack.
Hey, it's N6EFR, Bert. 4th of July was pretty quiet. No safe and sane fireworks over here. We just heard some legal fireworks around here over the weekend. Just kind of like watched YouTube for the live feeds from Disneyland and wherever else that was in the West Coast. And then as far as what I would get, oh man, probably a tower. That would have to beat the HOA that's here, but I don't know how I would do that. Maybe they'd have to pay into the HOA to get that tower in here. But yeah, good old tower.
Hey, that's fair. Thanks, Bert. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Edwin chimed in on YouTube. He said, time to accidentally lose that work radio, Eric. So I don't know what you want to do with that, but... All right, this is Nick, KN6DAL. We're looking for check-ins. Any stations anywhere that want to check in to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net, come on in now.
They're tracked. Can't.
They got a tile duct tape to the back of them.
It's got those Apple tiles on it.
Yeah. Where's my radio app? All right, last up in the Zoom chat, we got Dan, N6ETR. What's going on, Dan? How was your 4th?
KN6DAL, N6ETR. Thanks, Nick. The 4th wasn't too bad. The illegal fireworks that Bert was talking about come from the slums where I live. So that's where all the noise came from. So I drugged the dog and no fires, thank goodness. And I actually finished my first circuit board layout for the Heath kit through a software program that I found called Sprint Layout. Their whole thing is just draw it, and so that's what I was able to do. So I have like 6 more boards I got to do, so I think I'm going to get this one manufactured first to make sure I did it right and that it fits. It's got multiple fastener holes in it because it relies on grounding through the chassis. So I might get one ordered before I continue with layout. But that's it as far as that's concerned. And as far as anything I want for the shack, money's no object. Really, I would love to just pay for the labor to have my tower and hex beam installed so I don't have to do it. Oh, and the concrete foundation. That's expensive. Or, I'll settle for a nice desoldering station because right now I've got a separate Amazon $5 solder sucker and it gets you by, but you're doing it 2 or 3 times per hole.
It leaves a little to be desired. Yeah.
It really does, but it's gotten me this far. So, and thankfully it comes with 3 because after a while they just wear out. The rings wear out. So
yeah. It really does suck though.
It sucks. Yeah. So that's all I've got going on for now. KN6DAL and 6CTR. Back to you, Nick.
All right. Thanks, Dan. KN6DAL here. Yeah. You alluded to it and a couple people have kind of mentioned it. And it revolved around help. So you said you would hire somebody to help you set stuff up. And Edwin said that he would want, in addition to the antenna, someone to install everything. So I think maybe we can all just kind of come to agree that the right thing to buy would be an assistant. And a loyal one at that, right? Someone that works for cheap, and they'll work for airtime, right? We'll work for airtime. And it looks like Troy found us on YouTube, so now he gets to put names to faces and poke fun at us and make comments. So that's good. Thanks for joining, Troy. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're looking for check-ins for the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Come on in now. All right, I didn't hear anything, so I'm going to make one last call out. We'll see if anybody else wants to check in. And if they don't, we will turn the repeaters back, and we'll just kind of hang out on Zoom for a little bit and chat. And anybody that wants to jump in is welcome to. There is a link to the Zoom chat in the chat box on YouTube. So if anybody wants to join, that's where you find it. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're taking one last call, see if anybody out there wants to check in to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. If that's you, come on in now.
AM6QLB, this is Vince in Pittsburgh.
All right, Vince, I think I got your call right. KM6ULB. How are you doing tonight, and how was your 4th of July?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Stayed home. It's my wife's birthday, so we were on fire watch around the neighborhood and just kind of relaxed. And the call sign is Kilo Mike 6, Quebec, Lima, Bravo.
Awesome, I got it that time, and thanks for the correction on that. Yeah, the fire danger. I was the responsible one who drug the hose out and said, "Hey, we're going to keep a hose that can reach the whole cul-de-sac, just in case we run into any problems." We only had to use it a couple times to put out some, just some cardboard fire from the fireworks. But all in all, it was good. So, Vince, we got a question for you. If money was no object and you could purchase one thing for your shack, what would it be?
I'm looking at the Kenwood 990, I believe it is, radio. It's kind of like the flagship. I'd like to have that and spend a long time trying to figure everything out.
Hey, that's a good one. Yeah, I've never actually operated that radio. I have seen it, but I've never played around with it. But I know it is pretty feature rich, so that would be a fun one to get, and that's awesome. Thank you for giving us that, and I'll pass it back over to you, Vince, for one last round if you have anything else to add. But I sure appreciate you coming in and saying hi. So, any last thoughts for you, Vince, before we go?
Nothing further, just enjoying the show. Nice to talk to you. Say 73.
All right, thanks. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Eric, did you have something to add?
Yep.
Take it away, buddy.
I love that radio. That's the Cadillac of Kenwood's. When the HRO in Oakland got it, I spent the better part of 2013 operating that radio in the store on my lunch breaks, and getting worked all states several times over doing the ARRL worked all states contest back then for the 100th anniversary. That radio is awesome. So yeah, save your pennies. That's a beautiful radio to own. AK6Y.
All right, thanks, Eric. How much do they go for?
I don't remember now. I don't know now, actually. Back then, it was I think 5,000 or 6,000. It was really expensive. I couldn't afford it, but the manager at the time, Nick, he's now I forget his call sign, but he got one on the discount. But yeah, it lives up to its name, or lives up to the price tag, that's for sure.
Nick, this is Nick, KN6DAL. I'm going to screen share here on YouTube a link to DX Engineering. You were way off on the price. Oh, I can't. Sorry, I'm gonna move this. It's gonna kick you out. Can you guys still see it? Okay. So this is a link to the Kenwood TS990S, $8,000 So, yeah, that's a little. Hey, we said if money was no object, right? So I'm jumping on Vince's bandwagon, and I think I might go for this over the the solid state linear amplifier. Thanks for the plug on that, Vince. This is a pretty cool radio. This is Nick, KN60AL. Let's take one last round, see if anybody wants to check in before we turn the repeaters over. Any last calls for check-ins? Come on in now.
Hey, Nick, that's just the starter price for that radio, right?
Yeah, with probably
Because
filter options galore, huh?
Well, I was thinking the divorce had cost me 10 times that much.
Yeah, right.
I think originally, now that I think about it, I was gonna originally say 12,000, but originally I forgot it was way up there. AK6Y.
All right, hold that thought 1 second. I'm gonna kick the repeaters off. All right, no more check-ins. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We're gonna keep YouTube going live for a little bit, and we'll be hanging out on the Zoom chat if anybody wants to join. I appreciate all of the people that put all the effort into keeping the digital connections alive, and we will see everybody next week. And until then, I'll say 7-3. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're turning all the repeaters and digital connections back to normal operation. Yeah, this thing's nuts, man. Look at that. I was thinking a different radio. I was thinking like Kenwood. So I don't know all of Kenwood's number values, but this one is apparently the top.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a digitized analog VFO on the screen?
It sure is, isn't it?
Wow, they just really.
So it's got two screens. See the screen right above the dial? That's also a screen.
Is silent on. You guys can't see my mouse. I'm pointing at it.
Yeah, that's also a screen. I don't remember if it's touch or not, but the other one is touch.
Okay.
Or no, I don't remember if that's touch. But yeah, that radio was a lot of fun, and I got all my contacts, both digital, voice and CW. I did worked all states. I got everything but West Virginia on CW, and just this last year, I got West Virginia on CW on one of the contests. And so now I've got my all three, whatever that trifecta thing. It was really cool.
And you did this all in the store, Eric?
Yeah.
Wow. That's neat. I've never actually even been inside of an HRO. So
how long was the lunch break?
I plead the fifth. We're off the radios, right?
We're still live on YouTube though.
That's okay. I still plead the fifth.
So is it like going into Guitar Center and ripping Stairway to Heaven? Do people like surround you and watch you work the radio, or?
Not really. Usually it's pretty dead, so you can kind of use it. And I also worked at HRO as well, part-time. So that's why I was able to go in there and do it. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, you guys aren't seeing my screen anymore. Are you to see Northwest Ham Shack, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch it. I'm like playing around, zooming in on the radio, and you guys can't even see it, but YouTube can.
What's up, Troy?
Yeah, what's going on, Troy? Thanks for joining us, man.
I actually was looking around for you last weekend and couldn't find you. Not last weekend, last week, and couldn't find you. But I think my search on YouTube powers are very weak, apparently. So I'm glad I found you this week.
Am I sharing the right screen with you now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a little slow, Troy. Sorry.
That's why he runs the nets.
Yeah.
That thing looks like it would take 6 months to figure out how to work it.
Yeah.
I'd be run ragged. I'd be on it for probably 24 hours straight, just figuring everything out.
You'd have to post blow-ups of the manual in front of you on the wall as like cheat sheets.
But like to what Dan said, I like the digital and the analog like features that they show. You know, like they've got a digital sweeping gauge here for you
and
know,
you can
like
change it.
Yeah, you can set it up however you want, and it had that digital or that analog style tune dial.
Yeah. Every time you wiggle, it's moving it.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Is it 100 watts out, or does it
200?
have
200.
200.
Nice. All right.
200.
I wonder how many units they sell a year. I bet that's really low.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kenwood brought this out to compete with the ICOM
73.
No.
No.
The 70.
Yeah, right.
76.
810.
Yeah.
It was the 7810. Or the 70. So they had the 7800 and they maybe it was a 7850. It was like one of their anniversary radios, one of ICOM's anniversary radios, and Kenwood dropped this at the same time to compete with it. And it was like a $1,200 or $12,000 radio as well.
I bet you they sell worldwide. They probably sell 300 of those units a year. I bet you something along those lines. And so if you think about it, it's not huge, but I mean that's $2.5–3 million, you know, somewhere around there. And that's just one radio that they sell. And that's not going to be like no company other than cell phones really sell like their top of the line flagship radio over everything. You know, their flagship product over everything. Cell phones do, but everything else, it's like they sell a lot of their entry-level stuff and then a lot of their mid-tier stuff and then some of their higher quality stuff. I bet you they sell 300 of them a year. What do you guys think? More or less?
A lot of people have money.
Yeah, but it's probably already saturated the market because it's been out for a good, 20, I think it came out in 2012, so 10 years.
You can make 12 easy payments of $674.99.
12 easy payments a month, right?
It doesn't
That's
say
like a
easy,
car.
but it sounds easy. I said
That's
easy.
like a car payment.
Now I'm trying to sell the radio.
How many did you guys have in stock at HRO of these radios?
1 or 2. We had the floor model, and mind you, this is the store in East Oakland, and it never left.
It's still there?
Well, no, now they closed that store, but it never, no one came in and took it because no one knew exactly what it was.
Right.
So.
Or it just looked complicated, and people don't like complicated.
Yeah.
Close that one and open the one here in Sacramento. So
Yeah.
it's still in Sacramento.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think they sold the one that I used that year, and I don't think they got another one in the store or to display it. I actually didn't look for it when I was there, but yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
when I first went to HRO, one and only time, I was like afraid to touch anything. I was like, had my ticket for like 3 months. I was like, I ain't touching anything.
Oh, that's funny. I can relate.
It's like, but then they had like the signs that say you can play with it or whatever, and just ask them. And I was like, Then I was telling my kids, they're like, don't touch it.
See, I mean, like something like that, though, you have it out on display. They don't expect to sell an $8,000 radio every day. And so they know a lot of people are going to play around with it, but aren't going to be in a position to buy it. You know,
Right.
But they put them out there. I've never even stepped foot inside an HRO ever and I really want to. So when I lived in Sacramento, and I moved before they moved it. It was still in Oakland at the time, and like 6 months after I moved, they shut the store down and moved it to Sacramento, like a couple blocks from where I lived. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but like within 10 minutes of where I used to live. And that was probably the best scenario that could have ever happened. Because I don't know if I would have made it out of that store alive, man. It would have taken me for everything I had.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to know how much I've spent in that store.
Oh man,
so convenient. I can tell you though, I didn't get to tell Edwin, but he was talking about good coax. You can get, there's a place down in Rancho Cordova down there that sells they sell good quality coax, and you can get it. It was like less expensive or close to the same price as you could buy online, and you saved the shipping, and they had all the different types of connectors you could think of for different size cable, everything that you could want, and it was reasonably priced, and you could order anything that they didn't have. But it was like a little warehouse. I think it was called California Electric, and it's open like very reserved hours, like noon to 5 kind of thing. So you got to catch them at the right time. But if you're ever in that area and you're looking to buy like a length of LMR 400 or something, that's a good place to consider. Your audio's not working, Troy.
How about now?
There you go.
Other than Folsom, which is probably 30 minutes from where the HRO here is in Sacramento, and to be honest with you, the price of gas right now and their free shipping, if you spend over $100, it's cheaper for me to order online and have them deliver than it is to drive out there and back.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I was kind of underimpressed when I went to the Sacramento store because it gives the appearance it's maybe 600 square feet, maybe 800 at the most. But man, they got that thing jammed with everything you'd ever want. It's incredible how much they fit in there.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, it felt tinier when I walked in as well. Where was I missed it? Where was that store you were talking about, Nick?
It's in Rancho Cordova, which is like west of Folsom, south into Sacramento. You guys know where that's at?
Yeah.
And it was kind of right in the industrial district there. It's in a warehouse. Like they have a little man door and then a bay garage door. I think they don't sell just like ham radio equipment or anything. They don't even specialize in ham radio equipment at all. They just happen to have a lot of different like coax and stuff like that. So they have a ton of different 50 ohm coax, 75 ohm coax, all kinds of different little things that you would need. And then they just had shelves of any kind of like type in, UHF, BNC, all kinds of different connectors. So if you're comfortable, terminating the ends of like your LMR 400 yourself, you could really save a ton of money versus just buying it on a website or something, because you're going to pay shipping and all that. And I was penny pinching when I was buying it, so I know that it was the best price, at least then.
Guys, I just got informed that dessert is on the table. So have a great week, and
time to go.
Get you next week.
All right, Troy. Thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
See ya, Troy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably cut it here pretty soon. Anyway, in fact, we should probably say goodbye to YouTube because they're probably tired of watching us anyway. But for those of you on YouTube, thank you for checking in and saying hi with us tonight. We will see everybody next week at 8 p.m. Looking forward to it. Until then, we will say 7-3.